Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Bronwyn Pearson of Pinnacle People Solutions, and I'm talking this evening to Bruce Payne, the owner and founder of Paynes Electrical in Moree. So welcome, Bruce. Thanks so much for being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Bron, and thank you for everyone else who's listening and watching.
Fantastic. Excellent. So, Bruce, can you tell us a little bit about Paynes Electrical?
Paynes Electrical's been going since about 2010. I was a mature age apprentice, so I didn't qualify till I was 50. So yeah, we've been going for 10 years now. We had a partner for a little while, but we parted company, and now our eldest son, who's 35 this year, he's in partnership with us. My wife's in partnership with us, so it's a family business. And we have a couple of other employees that one bloke's been with us for his full apprenticeship and he's 2.5 years into it. The other bloke is a qualified aircon person who is 2.5 years into his electrical side of it. So that's the team at the moment. We have had more, and that's why we're looking for more now. So
fantastic, excellent. So can you talk to me a bit about the variety of work that that Paynes does?
We cover everything, Bron. Like we're only level 2 electricians in Moree, so we get a lot of work with that, swinging cables and working with essential energy. We also do a lot of silos, grain facilities, anything from seed silos up to the biggest one we did was $8.5 million silo setup we did at Gundy. A lot of control in that. Plus we then do the maintenance afterwards and also call out breakdowns with them. We have 2 feedlots on our books. We have a wide variety of farmers. We also do domestic. We've got accounts with every real estate in Moree except for one. And we also do communications, work, phone work. What else? We do Aboriginal work as well. And I think that's about it, Bron. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds to me like no 2 days would ever be the same then.
No, it's not like ploughing a paddock or something like that. You've always got something different to go to every day. Yeah. So yeah.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So one of the things I'm really well aware of from your company's reputation, which obviously we made a point of looking into before we teamed up with you to do some work with you, is that you guys have a phenomenal reputation. So I'd love for you to talk to me more about what you and your team take the most pride in. What are the things that drive you?
I was born in the area and I was on the land for a lot of years working on properties and that. So I'm well known in the area, which and plus I have a great interest in the area, and I love the area. It's a great place to earn money and to live. So I actually have an interest in my customers. So therefore, I don't only go out there and talk to them about electrical work. I talk to them how their crops are going, how things are going, anything. And in the drought, it was even sort of almost counselling as well, because you go out there and they're down in the dumps, so you just can't run away. You've got to actually stay there and talk to them. We also like to know, see how they're going, so that jobs can be planned. You might see something that's wrong, but you can say to them, well, it needs fixing, but I know you're having a tough time now, something to put in for a budget down the track. So therefore they realise that we're looking after them as well.
Yep.
The other thing we have is that we don't seem to be able to say no to people. So therefore, like we might go out 100 k's from town to do a little job, and we might end up being there for 14 hours because they've got other things to do, and we just realise that that's what you've got to do when you're that far out of town. The other one is that we love work to be neat and done well, so that our name's on it. And the other thing is we hate going back to jobs. It drives me nuts if people don't do jobs properly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sounds to me like then you've pulled a team around you who have that same pride in their workmanship that you guys do, and contribute obviously to that reputation that that you've developed.
That's right. Yeah.
Terrific. So, how would you sum up your workplace culture then, Bruce? How would you describe that?
I'm a bit of a bugger for throwing people in the deep end. I just feel that, especially when I'm on a site with them, a lot, like even when I was first qualified, I got into trouble with the bloke I was working for because we were doing a silo setup, and Ben was actually doing his apprenticeship, then our son, with this bloke. And I had him doing the switchboard, and he was only a first year. And the bloke who owned the business came in and said, "What the hell are you doing that for?" And I said, "Well, he's better off learning while I'm on site. I'm better off overseeing everything and having him do that so that I can watch everything he does, and I know it's done properly, and he's actually learning while I'm there. I'm not one of these bosses that says, well, you go and do all the zippy tying while I do all the technical stuff, because I feel that people don't learn if you don't do that." So, and we just, we try to give praise when they do a really good job, but I have been known to be cranky too. Yeah. And like, as we say to them, there's no such thing as a dumb question. It's only when you're asked it about 3 times that it becomes a little bit wearing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, just from conversations I've had with the team, it strikes me that one of the, I guess, hallmarks of how you operate as a company too is that you all have each other's back.
Oh yeah, we're like a family. That's what we like to be. We like to be a family. We give the boys breakfast of a Friday morning, and that's sort of like a toolbox meeting at the end of the week. We all meet at the shed here every morning at 7:30. Monday's sort of a little bit slower because everyone's talking about what they did on the weekend. But yeah, like we like to deal personally as well as just work. The other thing we try and do, but lately, because we've got so much work we haven't done it, is that every couple of months, Paynes like to shout the boys an early afternoon on Friday, and we go and play golf and have a few beers, and that just takes the boss-worker relationship away. We're just a heap of mates having fun. So, yeah. So, no.
That's brilliant. So, obviously, we're living in unprecedented times at the moment, Bruce, in terms of the pandemic and such. In light of everything that is happening, how is your business doing?
Flat.
How's business going?
Yeah, flat out. Like, we never slowed down at all through the drought after 2.5 years and no crops. And then the pandemic, like if it had came while the drought was here, it would have been a really sad place, Moree, but we were lucky we got the rain. Everyone, the only thing that's changed us is that we've got to ring customers before we go and make sure they're happy that we're coming.
Yeah.
And we're easing a little bit now, but we have been having one bloke travel in each vehicle, so we've had to wear some extra travel. But yeah, I'm still letting work go at the moment because I can't do it all, so it hasn't slowed us down at all. So, and
obviously, you guys being an essential service, you've obviously modified how you're doing things to make sure that you're compliant with the social distancing directives and stuff like that.
That, and the other thing is, with the Aboriginal settlements, we have to get written permission before we go into those. Jobs over the border, like I got one over the border on Wednesday, and I've got a pass to get over the border on Wednesday. I can't go the shortcut because it's got gates locked on it, so I've got to go through going to Windy. There's just little things like that, but yeah.
And from what I understand, you've introduced new work health and safety practices to make sure that your team and your clients are all good. So
no, like we have toolbox meetings of a morning to make sure everyone's healthy and happy and right fit for work. They've all got hand sanitizers and water on their trucks. All that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Fantastic. So one of the reasons that we're talking today, of course, is so that we get some information out about you and the business, etc., in the context of the fact that you're recruiting for new permanent staff. So in an environment where a lot of people are having to let people go, you guys are doing the absolute opposite. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We've had so much work come. I've let a lot of contracts go this week because they were Telstra, Optus, Vodafone, those sort of ones. Also metering. They weren't really good contracts, but they got you out to meet people and get more work, and at the moment we don't need any more work. The other thing is that we've got a really good relationship with silo builders, so we've got silos everywhere coming in at the moment because they've got to book them in this early because all the spots are filled. One of the feedlots is putting up a couple more silos, and we've got other customers putting up silos, and then we've got another new customer that we're supposed to be getting this, putting in a full facility, which will take up a lot of men. And we'll actually have to try and get some part-time men when we get into that, but that doesn't worry us because we're on site with them. But yeah, as far as the business goes, we need blokes that are keen to run a vehicle on their own, run an apprentice, and that we can give them a job and have all the faith in them that they go out, do it properly, and come home at the end of the day safe and well, and a happy client out there. So
yeah, for sure. For sure. So my understanding is that you potentially looking at 2 people to
yeah, definitely need one, but the way it is at the moment, and Brian, I'm a bit of a bugger. I was supposed to be trying to get someone so I can get to the office more, but every time I put another person on, I seem to go and find more work because I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough work. So, yeah, I've got to try and stop that. But yeah, so that's why if we get 2, that'll be good.
The fact that you guys are growing against the sort of trend in some areas is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're very keen to get you those 1 or 2 ideal people to join your team.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what someone can expect then if they were to take up a role with Paynes. So
the right person will have a vehicle, fully equipped vehicle, and they use that to drive to and from work as well. So they take it home at night. Yeah, they get all the support from us. Plus, they'll I hope we get the bloke that I can just say to them, here's this job, go through it with them, you go and run it. And hopefully, I don't mind hearing from them, but the less I hear from them, the better if everything's going okay.
Yeah, sure. So now we know that that you're an employer of choice. We know that that you really look after your team, your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
We also know you offer fantastic remuneration. But what opportunities might you have that you would be interested to explore with somebody to advance in the business, like in terms of being part of it moving forward?
All our blokes, if they need to do a course or do something else to improve themselves, we're quite happy to finance that and let them go and do it. The only thing that we do is that if a course costs $4,000, we might say, well, if you work for us for 2 years, you owe us nothing. If you pull out after 12 months, we owe us half. Just something like that, so that we've got some sort of repay back on it. But yeah, like Debbie and I'm 60 now, and we're looking at slowing down. Ben's a real goer, but Ben's needs someone to help him run the business. And yeah, like down the track, it could be a thing for a percentage of the profits, percentage of stuff like that, just for the right person. But they've got to be the right person. They've got to be someone who's not going to sit back and say, well, I'm just getting that, I'm fine. There's someone is driven by that, that will go. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So talk to me a bit about what Moree's like as a place to live and work.
Wouldn't go anywhere better. It's just the most wonderful place in the world. It's big open spaces. It's not crowded. And I suppose I'm a bad one to be talking to because I work all the time, but we've got rivers running through us, we've got dams near us for skiing, we've even got a ski park now that's accredited for Australian championships, fishing clubs, we've got car clubs, 3 or 4 football teams, hunting, there's heaps, and because we've got so many places that we actually work on, the right person that the owner of the place will get to know you personally, you working there, and if you come over well, then you have the opportunity to go and shoot or do stuff on there or fish or whatever, because most of our clients feel like we're part of the family as well. So
fantastic. So it really is a family. And for obviously anybody that would be looking to come and join you who's got a partner and kids and whatever, we know the education and facilities and so forth are really terrific.
Yeah, well, we've got 2 private schools here. We've got Phillies, and we've also got the Christian school, which I'm a member of the board on it. So
fantastic. No,
Yeah.
that's excellent. And obviously, you know, as we've talked about before, we can certainly help any partners with securing employment themselves.
There's always jobs around here. Like our two boys have been brought up here and they've never been without work. I've never been without work. If you want to work, there's always work here.
Fantastic. Excellent. So what does the future hold for Paynes Electrical, Bruce? What are you seeing in front of you and excited about?
I think we can get as big as we want, but I don't know how big I want to get. So if that puts it there, like at the moment, because we're short staffed, I'm shrinking back a little bit, but with the right team behind us, it'll only grow.
Fantastic. Excellent. Bruce, look, thanks so much for your time this evening. Really,
not a problem at all, Bron. Thank you.
No, not at all. Great to hear more about Paynes Electrical, and I'm sure this is going to give, you know, our your clients and prospective candidates to come and join the company. Lots more insight into you and your company. Looking forward to doing a chat with the staff as well. And yeah, look, you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks so much.
Just before you go, Bron, a couple of other things I've just remembered is people don't realise we're only 5 hours from Brisbane by road. Plus we have the best air service to Sydney that you could ever possibly get. And yeah, so that's two other things that you're not really stranded. Plus we're only 3 hours from Toowoomba. So there's a fair few other things there too. So
No, you're really well located. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and Inland Rail's coming, so that's going to be even more. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
All
so
right,
all
Bruce,
good.
thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bron.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.